Hi, Paloma. Nice talking to you. Do you remember the first time you read the novel?
I never read the novel, and I didn't read it on purpose when I was making the show because it was written by a man, and I didn't want to be influenced by this patriarchal ideas, because this project was directed and written by women.
Yeah.
And I thought it was really important to take our characters. Obviously my character's not in the original book anyway, but to like take something away from, like, rewrite history a bit from a perspective of like more empowered women from a historical perspective.
Yeah.
I think it's really funny how, like, we look at history and we sort of imagine that assertiveness in women is like a new concept because it's modern, but actually that's nonsense, because, you know, we're born with the characters, and some women are born alpha and some women are born beta and submissive, and you know, I can't imagine that was a new modern idea that a woman might be born alpha. So I feel like it was really important for me to almost approach the script and the writing from a modern perspective, but we're in period clothes.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right, and that translates so well. And I was going to ask you about that because how would you describe Harriet as a showrunner, and did you have input in, I don't know, in the script or any ideas when you started working together? Because how amazing all the cast of women in the show.
Yeah, I think Harriet was really supportive of the way that I interpreted Florence. She was just like, I love it. Like, but I felt like it was her writing that created the character, and she's like the kind of person who's like, no, it's you did it. And then I'm like, no, it's you. But I think it was interesting because I was trying to, my interpretation of her was like mostly derivative of like a TikTok influencer from modern times, like this kind of like shallow, judgmental. People are listening to her opinions, but we really don't understand why, because she's not very deep, and has an influence on the way people view society and, you know, the world around her, and they really listen to her, and everyone's quite, well, her best friend Eloise is very sycophantic, which inflates her ego even more. And I think that the thing that's interesting about the human condition is that it remains the same throughout time. So we're almost like, we lie to ourselves when we say this is modern. You know, women have rights now. Women are allowed, like, all of this is like an illusion. It's like, I don't believe it. I think it's absolutely.
No, we're still fighting.
Yeah. And so it's like interesting to work with women and to like have a platform to be able to like interpret. But it's even women, you know, like women perpetuate patriarchy themselves as well, because it's inbuilt in us. So like, for example,
we are in a society ruled by men, so we still make mistakes.
As a mother, I like think all the time about the mistakes I've made based on ideas that were given to me by what a mother should be like from a man's perspective.
Right. Yeah.
So I think it was, you know, a lot about why I didn't want to read the book, why I put a modern take on that character, and why it was like so brilliant working with, you know, the female writer and showrunner and directors.
How important is it to choose a project that can make a difference in that regard? Because you you made such interesting career choices, but you work with Paolo Sorrentino, for example, and with Terry Gilliam. How careful are you with the projects you pick, and what does it have to make you want to do it? Just in this case, what you mentioned.
I think like I'm careful in the sense that for me there's like two motivations. One is either creatively really inspiring, like with Terry Gilliam or Paolo Sorrentino, whose work I find really inspiring creatively.
Yeah.
In terms of like their way of articulating a narrative in a really postmodern surrealist way, or making work that's changing the course of time or changing perception. Like for example with Pennyworth, I was always keen on having like a female comic book supervillain that wasn't, her only power was not her sexuality, because I thought that was a bit annoying that like all of these comic book women villains are always just like really seductive, as if that's all that women have as a power. So I think that in that context I sort of tried to pull away from that, and I think the character that I created is very alpha. She's not sexual at all, as well. And then for this, it's just about being part of like a piece that's a brilliant commentary on, the female perspective in an era where women were sort of silenced a lot or ignored. But it's interesting that, like doing interviews about the show, like last week I was interviewed by a woman who asked me how it felt to be part of a feminist piece about older women enjoying sex, and I just found that the most sexist question, and it was a young woman asking me, and I was like, it's
young
not
woman.
that.
Whoa.
I was saying like, why do you think, I said, do you think I'm old? Because I don't think I'm old. And she was really shocked. She was like, oh. I was like, I think it's offensive that you said I'm old. I don't think
it is. Yeah.
And it's not really a show about old women. It's a show about women. And I think that that's just strange that a young woman journalist would perceive it like that, which made me realise, that we're all responsible for patriarchy, not just men.
When are we going to get more music? I want a new album. I'm a huge fan, Paloma.
Oh, I'm so happy. I really want to come there, but I keep saying to people like, I need to be in South America. Well, I'm writing a new album now, which I'm in the studio making, and I don't know how long it takes because I never know how long, but I'm still writing and it's good. I'm excited about it. I'm enjoying writing it.
Okay, I look forward to it. So thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure. Bye.
Hey, adiós, gracias.
Gracias.